I caught my wife cheating after my son sent me evidence. Reddit cheating stories. I'll never forget the day my 15-year-old son, Ethan, shattered my world with a single message. It was a Saturday morning, and I was halfway through mowing the lawn when my phone buzzed. I remember wiping sweat from my forehead, smiling as I saw Ethan's name pop up. But the moment I opened that message, everything stopped. My heart, my breath, my world. Dad, I think mom is cheating on you. Attached were a series of photos and screenshots. My wife, Lisa, sitting in a cafe with a man I'd never seen before, her hand resting on his, their faces close, too close. Then came a video Ethan had secretly recorded when he saw them together again a few days later. She kissed the man. My wife. The woman I had loved for 18 years. I froze in disbelief. For a moment, I wanted to convince myself it was a misunderstanding. Maybe an old friend. A relative. But no. The way she looked at him, it was the same way she used to look at me. That night, I sat in my car, just outside the house, watching the lights in our living room flicker through the window. I didn't want to go inside. I didn't want to see her. My mind was filled with memories, the day we met in college, her laugh when we first danced, the promises we made under the stars. How could all of that end with a few secret kisses and lies? When I finally went in, Lisa greeted me with her usual smile, pretending everything was fine. I stared at her, wondering how long she'd been lying. How was your day? She asked casually, as if my heart hadn't just been ripped out. Fine, I said quietly, my voice trembling. We need to talk. Her face changed instantly. Fear flickered in her eyes. Maybe she already knew the truth had found its way to me. I didn't confront her right away. I spent the next few days gathering myself, talking to Ethan, and making sure he was okay. I couldn't imagine how hard it must have been for him, to see his mother betraying our family, then having to tell me. That boy showed more courage than I ever had. Finally, one night, after dinner, I asked her to sit down. My hands trembled as I placed the printed photos and screenshots on the table. Her face went pale. She didn't even try to deny it. How long? I asked softly, my voice breaking. Tears welled in her eyes. 6 months, she whispered. 6 months. Half a year of lies. Half a year of pretending to love me, while she was giving her heart to someone else. Why, Lisa? I asked, my voice trembling with both anger and pain. What did I do wrong? She broke down crying. You didn't do anything wrong. I did. I felt lost. You were always busy, always working. I needed someone to talk to. Her words cut deep. Yes, I worked a lot. I did it for our family, for her, for Ethan. I thought I was being a good husband, a good father. But somewhere along the way, she stopped seeing that. She wanted attention, comfort, and instead of coming to me, she found it in someone else's arms. That night, I slept in the guest room. The next morning, I called a lawyer. It wasn't out of revenge, it was survival. I couldn't live in a house built on lies anymore. Ethan chose to live with me. He couldn't forgive his mother either. Watching him distance himself from her broke me even more. No child should ever have to see their parents like that. Months passed, and life slowly began to rebuild itself. I threw myself into being the best father I could be. Ethan and I started going fishing on weekends, cooking dinners together, talking late into the night. Those moments reminded me that love doesn't always end when someone betrays you, it just changes shape. Lisa tried reaching out several times, but I couldn't bring myself to answer. Maybe one day I'll forgive her, but not today. Not yet. Then one day, out of nowhere, Ethan came up to me and said, Dad, I'm proud of you. Proud of me? I asked, surprised. Yeah, most people would have lost it. But you stayed calm. You handled it like a man. You didn't yell or hit or say awful things. You just walked away. Those words hit me harder than anything else. Because for the first time in a long while, I realized that maybe I did something right. I showed my son what strength really looked like, not in anger or revenge, but in control and dignity. It's been over a year now. I'm still healing, still learning to trust again. There are nights when the loneliness creeps in, and I wonder how someone I loved so deeply could do that to me. But then I remember Ethan's words. Pain doesn't define you. How you rise after it does. If you're listening to this and you've been betrayed, know this: the world doesn't end when someone breaks your heart. Sometimes, it begins again, stronger, wiser, and filled with the kind of love that doesn't fade. Because in the end, it wasn't Lisa's betrayal that defined my story. It was my son's courage, and my choice to let go of the pain, and start living again.